Now, how many of us could confidently attempt to resuscitate someone suffering from a cardiac arrest? According to the British Heart Foundation, each minute that passes without CPR reduces the chance of survival by up to 10%.
And footballers impacted by life-threatening heart conditions are joining forces today with the charity to urge more than 250,000 of us to learn life-saving CPR.
We are joined now by footballers Fabrice, Muamba, Tom Lockyer and Charlie Wyke, as well as Dr Jonathan Tobin and Estelle Stevenson from the British Heart Foundation. Morning, all of you.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for coming in. Fabrice, I'm going to start with you because I can remember many years ago reporting on what happened to you and that being such a terrifying moment. Talk us through why you're here, what happened and how are you today?
No, personally, I'm okay, thank you. But today, I'm more happy to see Tom and Charlie, all of us, being in the same seat. Obviously, we all share a lot of things in common in terms of our health situation. But when they asked me to be part of this campaign, I couldn't say no to, because I feel like I've got a duty to be able to raise my awareness and share my story and help people to learn to do CPR, and hopefully we can save more life. That's a really...
Because every second counts.
It exactly makes a massive difference. Every second a person loses it has a massive impact on them.
And you were out of it. You were...
Yeah, I mean, Doug probably know more than me because I was out of it. So for me, as I said, I was fortunate enough that it couldn't happen in a better place than it happened in the football pitch, because I had the best medical care I can ask and wish for, and they came in, they did a tremendous job on myself, and to be able to make that recovery now.
So come on, Doc, Jonathan, you were there.
Yeah.
Not just for Fabrice, but let's talk us through what happened. What did you do?
So, well, Fabrice arrested on the pitch at White Hart Lane, and then myself, and not just myself, the whole team, flew into action, and it was a global story. Like, he was dead for 68 minutes.
68 minutes.
And then there was a long period afterwards where no one thought he was going to make the recovery he did. So, and it had a global impact. So there was a massive surge in resuscitation training and defibrillation. But to be honest, a better learning story is actually Charlie's arrest. So Charlie arrested on the training pitch at Wigan, and I'd given the coaching staff training in CPR 2 or 3 weeks before Charlie's arrest. And when it happened, Liam Richardson, who was the manager at Wigan at the time, having done that training, 20, 30 minutes of training, and that was it. He witnessed what happened, he called for help, and he started CPR on Charlie, and then I came and took over from there. But Liam's quick actions, with no medical training, no medical background, saved Charlie's life, and that's why he's getting married in the summer, why his 2 kids still have a dad, and he's still playing football. And Liam has nothing more than 20 minutes, and that's what this campaign's about. You don't need an awful lot of training to be able to be part of a story like that, and it's amazing.
We're going to get some tips in just a moment, but Charlie, when you hear it spelled out like that, about how close you came, I mean...
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Obviously, my family could have lost a dad, a brother, a son, and the actions of the doctor and Liam is the only reason I'm here today. Obviously, Liam wasn't a medical trained CPR, so for him to do what he'd done and acted how he did, he saved my life. But obviously, for my family and everything, there's so much appreciation.
Do you remember anything?
The only thing I remember is the couple of seconds leading up to it, and after that, it's a complete blur. And obviously, I've been told what happened after, and like I say, so thankful.
Tom, this bond between all three of you, because we remember in the headlines only a few months back, you've talked to Sally, I know, about this before. You share the same experience, it's not a heart attack, it's cardiac arrest. Your heart just stopped on the pitch.
Yeah, and sadly, it's not just us three, it's loads, 30,000 people a year will have out-of-hospital cardiac arrest, and sadly less than 10% will make it, and that's purely because of the fact that not enough people know CPR, so we're looking to try and flip the script a little bit. Like Fabrice said, we're very fortunate it happened where it did. In other circumstances, we might not be so lucky, and that is the case for so many.
You make such a valid point there, because your cases are the ones that have lots of attention because there were cameras there. Amazing that there were medical staff on hand, but it's the people that we don't see. I know that you are talking to today. What would you say to people who wouldn't even know where to start?
Well, go on British Heart Foundation website. The Reviver tool on there will teach you CPR in as little as 15 minutes. And literally, it can save lives. It does save lives. I hate to say it, but like, how would you feel in that situation if you didn't know what to do, if it was someone who you loved? So, yeah, I know we're going to get little demonstrations shortly, but that will help. But literally, log online, 15 minutes is all it takes.
It's so powerful having the three of you sitting there today, and I'm sure everybody will appreciate the fact that you're sort of sharing your stories to educate all of us. Estelle from the British Heart Foundation. So what do we need to know?
Well, firstly, thank you to Fabrice, to Tom and to Charlie for sharing, their shared experience. It's the first time I've heard it together, and it's so powerful. What we do know is that every minute matters when somebody has a cardiac arrest. Early CPR and defibrillation makes all the difference between life and death. So I'll show you some quick steps here now. As Tom said, you can search Learn CPR and find the Reviver tool on the British Heart Foundation website. What you do is you call 999 if you found somebody who's stopped breathing. First, more than anything else, call 999. You found somebody who stopped breathing. The ambulance is on its way. Then you start CPR. No messing around. So pretend this is the person that we are here to help. You place your hands like this into the centre of the person's chest, so between the nipples, using the heel of your hand, push down. Now it's around 5 to 6 centimetres depth that you need to push.
Oh, so that's much deeper than most of us would expect.
Absolutely. So you push hard and fast, and to the rhythm of the Bee Gees' Staying Alive, if you can remember it. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, ideally, you do that on the floor.
Yes.
Nice straight arms, shoulders directly above, and that's all it takes. If you have somebody nearby, shout to them to go and get a defibrillator. But you will learn all these skills in just 15 minutes with the British Heart Foundation Reviver tool.
You need to not worry about hurting them.
Absolutely not. At that
because
point,
they're
you can
in
only
trouble.
help. Yes. At that point, they are unfortunately clinically dead. So you need to give them CPR.
And so what are you doing at that point?
You are basically replacing the heart. You're pumping the blood around to the vital organs and getting oxygen to the vital organs as well. So you're keeping that person in a state so that when a defibrillator arrives, they have a shockable heart rhythm and the defibrillator can do its work.
Jonathan, what would you say to people who are nervous about doing this? Someone who's done this successfully.
I worked in hospitals. We did a lot of arrests. I was so scared when Fab arrested on that pitch. I was terrified. I was scared as well when Charlie arrested, the consequences. And this is what we're trying to do, is we're trying to get people who would normally be bystanders to become actors, and they just need the confidence of knowing what to do. The hardest part of this is making the decision to do something. Once you've done that, that's all that takes. And this 15 minutes training video gives you the confidence, hopefully, to be able to act if, God forbid, it happens in where you are.
Chaps, what would you say to people who are watching now who might end up in the position of kind of needing to help somebody if they're feeling a bit nervous? Tom, what would you say to them?
Yeah, something's better than nothing. I think Glenn was at the Restart on 11, the campaign that launched the other day. Glenn Hoddle, I'm sure he won't mind me saying this, but when it happened to him, the chap who saved his life ended up breaking 7 of his ribs. But Glenn's still here today to tell the story. So, like we say, something is better than nothing. And yeah, just go for it. You can't do any worse than what's already happening.
Because what happened to Glenn Hoddle actually happened in a TV studio, didn't it?
Yeah.
And that the man who stepped in saved his life. And how, I know all of you have had, I think, a similar type of treatment. Have you all got the device that we've seen Tom with?
Yeah.
So, Tom, I know you have the device just under here that we filmed you with recently. And that's something that, for all of you now, has essentially, is protecting you. Is that right, Charlie?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we've all got the defibrillators under the arm. And like I say, thankfully for me, I'm back able to play football and live my normal life. And that's what we all want to do. That's what I want to see Tom doing.
This is, yeah, look at Tom. This is Tom showing us.
Yeah, so there's a couple of different types. You can have one in the side, you can have one under the collarbone as well. So, yeah, like we said earlier, 30,000 people will have out of hospital cardiac arrest. So these things are a lot more common than you think, and it doesn't discriminate. I've had messages from people saying their 18-month-old child has had several cardiac arrests, and all the way up to the elders in their 80s and 90s as well. So, yeah, you can be as fit or as unfit as you want. It doesn't discriminate, and it can literally happen to anyone.
And Fabrice, that must be why you've decided to be part of this campaign and to be out there and just share your story to convince others.
Yeah, I mean, listen, all three of us, as I said earlier, we've got a lot in common, but number one priority is the health, and I think we will have to try to raise awareness of sudden cardiac arrest and be able to share our message and hopefully get a lot of people to learn how to do CPR. Is what's the most important thing we want to raise awareness for.
And to save people for their families, because I know, Tom, when I came to your house, you were about to be a dad for the first time. How is life now? With a little... Go on, tiring.
Tiring. No, it's brilliant, isn't it? And Charlie touched on it earlier. I'm so thankful that I'm able to be here and witness my daughter growing up in the world. So, yeah, without the swift actions of my heroes, I call them, then, you know, I wouldn't be sat here today telling the story.
And Estelle, on the practicalities again, people getting in touch this morning with questions like, how long do you keep going for?
You keep going until the ambulance service arrives and tells you to, you know, they'll to stop and they'll take over.
That's hard work, right?
It is hard work. The adrenaline will kick in and you'll keep going. But we are partnering with Sky Bet and we are working to ensure that up to 270,000 people over the next year will learn CPR as a result of this campaign. So that's 3 Wembley Stadiums worth of people. That can make a difference.
Maybe some of them are watching breakfast this morning. And in terms, I guess you can swap over with somebody if you're getting tired.
Absolutely.
And the ambulance is taking a while, yeah.
Yes, so if someone else doesn't know what to do, you can show them how to place their hands and tell them to keep going while you take a breather and then swap over again.
One last message from you lads before we go. What would you say to people this morning who are watching?
Just get involved. Get involved, don't bystander. Just if you see somebody in that predicament, you've got to just do something. Do something.
There we go. Do something.
Please be one of the 270,000 that we're urging to learn CPR. We know life's busy, but it's 15 minutes. If you can't find 15 minutes to save someone's life, then we've got no chance.
Yeah, exactly what Tom says. If you've got 15 minutes, get on the British Heart Foundation website and do the course. It only takes 15 minutes, and like you say, you could save someone's life one day.
It's so good to have all of you here this morning. Thank you so much for the tips, the advice, your experiences, but it's so good to see you three looking so well and sitting here together. Great to see you. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.